is there anything you guys would like to add?
Oh yeah, definitely.
All right, then go ahead.
Well, go on.
It won't be incredibly long. I just wanted to speak out loud. Ryan, you and me got some beef.
Oh yeah, the Death Note thing.
Are you okay? Okay, if you I listen, I am comfortable with bringing this up away from like the internet because
Oh no, go ahead.
things may get a
Send
bit
the
violent.
weebs after me. I'll make fun of them for it too.
Okay, you know what? All right. I may make this like a huge thing for the next show, so for my episode, because I did have something else I wanted to talk about with it, but I'll just bring up real quick. I was talking to Ryan today. I was having a great day, and then he basically just like took me out of the Matrix by saying that he doesn't think the writing in Death Note is good, and it was like having someone say that they think that Walter White is a bad character, or like The Sopranos isn't one of the best shows of all time. Like it really just I had to like look at it for a second. I was like, "Huh. It is he trolling?" So just to be clear, are you stating that the writing doesn't work for you or that the writing of the story is objectively bad?
The first like 2 episodes are good. After that, it derails so hard that it's fucking terrible to me. There's one
What?
part of it that I remember very, very clearly that was good to me, and it was like whenever, like I think that Light as a character is interesting and is written fairly well, but I think that the world itself and like the story that's involved just feels so shit. It feels like the writer thinks that being smart is a fucking superpower. Like, the fact that L was just able to figure out there was some supernatural bullshit going on off the fucking rip
He
and,
wasn't.
like, trick Light into...
No,
No,
he
he
wasn't.
did!
No, he
Motherfucker.
didn't. No, he didn't.
Yes, he did. It was
No.
on a broadcast. L's introduction is bringing a man on death row in front of a TV screen and saying, "Ah, yes, the killer is able to, from a remote location, as long as he has a name and a face, immediately kill the person he is targeting."
Okay, just to be clear,
Would you
before
consider that to be supernatural?
before we get into the weeds here, you are messing with a level 978 weeb, all right? Do you understand? I have seen this story countless times. I've read the manga countless times, all right? I have no life to this shit. I'm a Death Note super fan. You cannot tell me that episode 2 isn't a banger, alright? Light killing Lind L. Taylor is an excellent scene, and no, I don't think that the first thing that went into L's mind was, this has to be supernatural. He just went off of basic knowledge and fact that the only people that have died are people whose faces and names were known to the public.
And so he got death row inmates, said, "If you live, you get to go free," put them in front of a TV screen, and somehow was able to pinpoint the exact location of Light by putting it in only one prefecture.
Okay,
And like, don't get me wrong, it's a good reveal, but it's just like, there's so many logical connections that like any detective in like the state of fucking Japan would have been like, "Dude, you're off your fucking rocker. There's no goddamn way someone could just do that."
Okay, all right. Listen, bro. He got Lind L. Taylor to say that to everyone in Japan until he finally got what he wanted, and then narrowing down Light from that point. It's not like he got Light immediately. It takes him a lot of deductive thinking and like freaking a year's worth of manga for L to even figure out that Light is a suspect. No less like actually Kira. It doesn't take him like that short amount of time.
Like, don't get me wrong, there are scenes within Death Note that I think are good, like the fucking... I think it was like the tennis scene where Light is just like completely overthinking everything. And thinking like, "Oh, if I win this, then he comes to this conclusion. If I lose this, he comes to this conclusion. And like, if I do this, he comes to that." And then it's just at the end of it, he's like, "Oh wait, no, this is just a game of fucking tennis. Like, I don't have to fucking overthink this. I could just play."
That is a great.
Like, it's
an excellent scene.
like, actually, yeah. There's the memeable moments throughout it, like the "I'll take a potato chip and eat it." Like, there's moments that I enjoyed in Death Note, but I hate the way that like being smart in the show is considered like this fucking big brain superpower, and like, the writing around some of the characters feels so fucking terrible to me. Like
bro, like who, bro? Like who?
the fucking bitch who's completely and totally obsessed with light.
That's
Like,
the entire point of Misa is like the Light being like an Al Bundy figure. There are literal Misas in real life who like came to serial killers' aids because they were just
Yes,
attracted
I
to them.
understand that. That does not mean I have to enjoy the character, and that does not mean that they are written well. Like, it just... Especially whenever there was, like, the Shinigami that was, like, not in love with Misa, but, like, wanted to protect her a shit ton, and the show outright says, like, hey, like, we could just get this Shinigami to take out, you know, the main conflict in the story, but that would feel really shit, wouldn't it? Like, that would feel really, really fucking dumb if that's what this story led up to. And then lo and fucking behold, that's how they, like, that's how the story ends up, and I'm just like, dude,
Bro, like I simply
it felt so fucking bad as a viewer to go through that shit, because, like, it was interesting to see, like, the plot slowly unfold and see each character come to, like, their own conclusions of everything, try and figure out and piece together how each was gonna go. L slowly trying, like, just ever so slowly honing in on L being Kira. And it just... There's so many moments throughout it that just feel like they happen just so that the plot can move forward.
okay. Example.
Like I said, whenever it came to the Shinigami just kind of like being introduced, like Misa did not have to exist within the story for it to take place. The story could have been absolutely fine, better without her in it. Adding her and the other Shinigami only allowed the story to go the route that it did, and to have the payoff be much, much worse than if Light had just won using his own actual, like, strategic thinking.
Okay,
Like, there are moments where...
bro, no.
There are moments throughout the...
Light does use his strategic thinking to use Rem to kill L. That's the entire point of the like episodes, fucking like episodes 18 through 24 is all Light putting Rem into an exact situation in which Rem is the only character in the show right now at that moment who could realistically see L's real name. Light spends 6 episodes using his mind to push Rem into a corner in which she would have to kill L. That is Light's victory.
Yes. And they outright brought up earlier that that would feel like shit. And it did. It was not rewarding to me because it didn't feel as earned of a victory as him, like, outthinking and getting his name to put in the Death Note on his own, like, terms.
Bro,
it just didn't feel like a good victory to me.
It's like
it's fine for you to disagree and you enjoy the show.
But like
it just feels like there's so many moments throughout it where it just feels fucking dumb. Like how L could ever come to the conclusion of superpowers right off the fucking rip. Like I just can't get over that. It's so fucking stupid to me.
That's actually not have you read the book BB Los Angeles Murder Cases?
No.
Okay, well, it's a book that it's L's backstory, and it explains that he has dealt with something supernatural before. So I understand that it feels weird going into the show and making that conclusion, but L has seen that supernatural stuff might exist before the show starts. I'm just saying.
Okay, let me say this right now.
I know that extra material doesn't excuse the mistakes of an original story. I know you like a book. I'm aware.
Yes. It's... Whenever you're telling a story, elements like that need to be included, and you can't just, like, you can't J.K. Rowling this shit, go on Twitter like, hey guys, by the way, this happened, and this is why this character did this. Like, it needs to be included within the original work for it to make sense within the context of that story.
Okay, I understand. I can take that. I can actually, I can concede why you would be annoyed with L coming to that conclusion. However, maybe a rewatch might be necessary to see how ingenious Light's plan was to kill L. I think it's pretty genius myself. I think it's pretty freaking great. He loses his memories, trades like 4 death notes, buries one in the ground, figures out this genius plan, gives the shit to a bunch of the Yotsuba group. I think it's great. I also love the Near and Mellow stuff after L dies, so that's where me and the rest of the internet are going to disagree.
Or is the
I
beef settled
do
now?
think that there are moments.
No.
I do think that there are moments throughout Death Note that are like really, really good highlights. Like when he got all those people to sign their own names into the Death Note.
Bro, it's so
Like,
good.
that is like an amazing scene, very well thought out. The imagery of the woman walking up to a gallows because he wrote that she would hang herself.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there are like just the entire character of Light being like this. He believes so confident in himself being like this sole proprietor of justice that he outright elevates himself to godhood status just because by chance this thing fell into his fucking lap. Like, those are all fantastic things. I'm not saying that every moment in Death Note is bad, but
I
the
understand.
moments that are bad to me are so bad that it like detracts from the rest of it. It's like when we were having that Steven Universe conversation back in like episode 2, where like the ending was so fucking bad to me. I'm talking about Steven Universe, not Death Note. That I couldn't like it weighs down all the good that the rest of the series had.
Yeah, I guess I can see what you mean. We can continue the conversation at a later date, but I can concede on some of your points. I can get it. You know, maybe some of the stuff could have been thought out a little bit more. I think that the character's intelligence being used as a superpower can kind of just be chalked up to the fact that it's a manga and like basic things are portrayed more dramatically, I guess you could say.
Yeah, dramatization is generally fine, but my issue is that the conclusions that some characters come to have to take such massive leaps of knowledge that they shouldn't be privy to, that it becomes like it kind of takes me out of the moment and suspends, ironically, my suspension of disbelief just because of the leaps that they have to take at some points.
I got you, man. I got you. We can talk about it more at a later date because I would like to talk about how you feel about the actual ending of the story at some point.